family, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Sweetney. This is Losing the Fluff, where we use walking workouts, low impact workouts to lose weight, and we really just focus on overall better health. I just want to thank you for joining me because I'm on my journey towards better health. And when we put this energy out there, more people gonna jump on board for better health, and I love that. So without further ado, make sure you got a container, cup, glass, bottle of water somewhere nearby. Yes, I'm shaking in front of the screen because I really want you to hear me. Have your water somewhere nearby, and if at any time, listen, rather have it and don't need it than need it and not have it. Need a break? Pause me. I'm not going nowhere. Hydrate yourself. Take that break. Jump back into what we're doing. Because if you're on a journey like myself, it's important that you teach your subconscious that you can finish what you start. Even something as small as a workout. Because you are focused and tuning in on yourself. And your subconscious doesn't distinguish between all the different things that we do. It's really just black and white for our subconscious. Either you're doing it or you're not. Okay? So with that being said, let us stretch. My lower back is hurting today, so I'm going to stretch accordingly. Let's do some big arm rolls to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now to the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that felt so good. Now, let's do some torso twists. 1. Oh my goodness. This feels great. 2, 3, 4, 5. I still need a deeper stretch, y'all. So, position your feet like so. Make sure you got good grip, footwear on it. And if you got on some socks, you might want to take them off so you don't slip and fall. But comfortably lean forward like so. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side, let's reposition our feet. And lean deeply into this stretch. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring it back to the top. And let us walk. Yeah. Let's walk it off. Let's go. Let's walk. I don't know. Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, I woke up today, my lower back just feels so raw. Every day, y'all. As we age, man, it's like, I can't just wake up and just be like, pain-free. It's always something, but nothing. And I do mean almost nothing. Stops me from getting up and getting the job done. Listen, understand this aspect. All these things, waking up with the aches and pains, all the different health problems that I have, it's all just a part of the story. When you get to the end of the line, and that is the finish line, when you go back and you talk about your journey, this is just part of the story. That's all I see this as. So, when I wake up and I'm sore and I'm hurting, yes, I never want to get out of bed. I explained all this. I never want to get out of bed. However, I know and understand that when I'm feeling sore, I gotta move this body. I cannot just lay there and like pamper or try to baby myself. This doesn't work. The only thing that works is I gotta move. I gotta move this body. I gotta stretch this body. And so that the things that are ailing me get what they need. And then I guess they don't need the pampering aspect. They need to stretch. They need movement. So that's what it is. That's what it is. But at the end of the day, when that future you greets you at the finish line, I firmly believe so many of the things that I'm dealing with are going to be left on that race. And when I get to that finish line, it's going to be the start of a whole new journey. And I'm so excited for that journey and what that's going to look like, because I don't have a clue. I don't. Because this journey for me has been really long. And I've made small milestones, but I've never made it to my goal. Like my ultimate goal of getting under 200 pounds. I've not been under 200 pounds in over 20 years. So when I got to 203 a couple months ago, and I just kept like hitting my head against the wall. It was like almost 2 months, I feel like. It's like 6 weeks. I just kept banging my head against the wall. I could not get from 203. And I understood at that point. It was mental. It was mental. And I was trying to overcome it. And I, at that time, was not successful. But this next go around, I'm snatching that. And I'm putting it on videos because these words will ring true in a couple months when we talk again, and you will see. Listen, I ain't just talking. I'm about that life. We want the results. And I look every day back to this picture that I have of me before I work out in May, when I was like 203, and I was like, wow, I really like how I looked there. I'm gonna insert that picture in the video today. I'm gonna do that. I want y'all to see that is my current inspiration. I love how I look in that picture. I love how my body looks in that picture. I love the glow on my skin in that picture. I feel like I was radiating in that picture. And I was on my way to the best glow up that was yet to come. And I still am. That part, I still am. And so, just know if you happen to be on your journey and something happens, because life happens. It's not necessarily about what happens, it's about how you handle what happens, right? And so this is where I'm at. Didn't handle what I was going through so well, but it's okay. I'm saying it's okay because every day that I wake up, I have a new opportunity to work towards my goals and dreams. And if I don't wake up tomorrow, then today I will have given everything I could to becoming the best version of myself for tomorrow. So I will always feel like when I wake up, I will be happy because the day before I put in the work for the life that I want. None of us is promised tomorrow. None of us. So that's why I say don't put off what you could do today for tomorrow, because tomorrow is promised to no one. This is our moment, and in this moment, we see the goal. We see the goal, and the goal is something that is obtainable. It's obtainable when you break it down, family. Because when you look at it from a bigger picture, especially when you have a lot more weight to lose, it just seems overwhelming. And the last thing that you want to do when you are trying to embark on a journey is be overwhelmed. So you have to break it down. And that is why I've had those smaller goals. I always had the bigger goal in the back of my head, but the smaller goals for me, they have always been attainable. And I'm not saying that the bigger one isn't. That's the fight of my life. And that's this fight right now. And I'm on that fight right now. And so yes, I'm telling y'all, 2026, I am claiming it. And guess what? I'm not mad about what happened this year, because I had a lot of progress this year with my health. I've learned a lot about myself, physically, spiritually, mentally. Like, I'm not knocking any of it. You know, would I have chosen a different path? Yes. Well, ultimately, I feel like subconsciously I may have chosen this path. This is where we are, and I'm dealing with it. And I'm learning and I'm growing every day, learning who I am, what I like, what I don't like, what I will accept, what I won't accept. I'm learning to be more disciplined in my actions, more disciplined in my choices and decisions. I'm trying to work on not moving in a way that causes me to be irrational and become an emotional eater. These are things that I'm working on. I'm still a work in progress. That's why I tell you at the beginning of every video, I'm on a journey just like you. I'm no different than you. I am just a person who is trying to focus and work towards better health. And I didn't have the best role models growing up for better health. And my mom was not fat at all. But I thought she was fat. If you've ever listened to me talk about my mom, I love her to death. But she kind of warped my head very, very early on into what, health was. Now, my mom, when she graduated from high school, y'all, she was like 95 pounds, literally soaking wet. And for her, that's like the best shape that she feels she's ever been in her life. And I'm not knocking that, because my mom is shorter than I am. And so when you're like 5'2", maybe that's where you're supposed to be. But when I was young, y'all, I thought my mother was fat. She wasn't fat. Because when I became an adult and I thought back on my childhood memories, I remembered that my brother and I, we used to sit on my mother's feet every day. And I was like 3 to 5 years old. These are what my brother and I would do. She would have us sit on her feet, one kid on one foot, one kid on the other foot. And she would struggle. She struggled to do sit-ups every day. And she would make these comments as she's going through these sit-ups about how fat she was. Yes, so my mom used to be saying that she was fat. And so my brother and I, we used to be sitting on her feet, and we used to be laughing. And as she struggled, I remember this. And we used to be like, hey, she's fat. Mommy's fat. Fast forward to me being an adult and thinking back on these memories and laughing in the moment until I actually remembered another one of her conversations when she was saying she wore a size 5. And this is when she thought she was fat. And this is when we were sitting on her feet and she was doing these sit-ups and she was struggling and we thought she was fat. Now, I'm an adult. What do you think of a size 5? What do you think of a size 5? Wouldn't you love to be a size 5? Listen, when I thought about it, I could not help but laugh, family. I just couldn't help but laugh. Because, boy, just how you see things can vary from one person to the next. My mom thought she was fat. And I, as a little kid, thought she was fat because she said she was fat. But I didn't even actually have a scale to see what fat wasn't. But as an adult, when I thought back to it, I was like, wait a minute, she said she wore a size 5. And here I am, and I'm thinking this as I'm having this flashback. I'm in like an 18. I'm thinking, she wore a size 5. He said she was fat. She lied. This was a coming to truth moment for me. And I was just like, she lied. Now I fast forwarded again past that, and I realized she didn't lie, family. That was just her perception on how she saw herself, because for her ideal weight was her being 95 pounds. And I don't know how much she weighed at that point, because remember, I'm 3 to 5 years old. I don't know how much she weighs, but I only know that she wears a size 5, which is not the size 0 that she wore when she was 95 pounds. And all she wants to do is get back to size 0. Perception. So for her, she was fat. And she thought she was fat, and she said she was fat every day, that her little children thought that she was fat. Yes, I thought when I was looking, my mom was fat. And I've seen other people, bigger than my mom, of course, but this is who I am with every day. This is who takes care of me day in and day out. And if she's saying every day that she's fat, well then God darn it, she's fat, because that's what she said. And so it's really tough for me to become an adult. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'm back. But yes, we have to be careful with perception, because my mom thought she was fat. Clearly, as I'm explaining this to y'all, you are probably laughing just like I was laughing, because a size 5 to any adult is not fat. Plenty of you are sitting here as we're doing this, you're like, I wish I was that 5 that she thought she was fat. Yeah, no, I never want to be a size 5. That's too skinny for me personally. But for her, it was too big. And so perception is everything. Perception is everything. Understand that. So when a person is talking about something, you really got to understand what's their perception. Where is their perspective when they're saying what they're saying? Because why is that important? Because right now we are on our own journey. And you have to be careful when you're having conversations with other people about what it is that they're doing or whatever they think that you should be doing, right? Because it's based on their own perceptions of where they're coming from. But geez, if the person that's talking to you and giving you advice was like my mother, who was a size 5, and she felt she was overweight, had her young children thinking she was fat. You know, they can really have you morphed in your mind with weight. And so, yes, because I was like this in my life, you know, my mom always pointed out to me my cousins and the people in my family that were overweight. And she always would say things to me like, you don't want to look like this person. I'm not going to say their name, y'all. I love my family. And she loves our family. But she would say things like, you don't want to look like such and such, do you? Look how big they is. Look at all the health problems that they got. You don't want to look like such and such over there, do you? You see what she going through. You don't want to look like him, do you? Look how big he is. He can't even find no pants to wear. Like, she would point out all these different things, you know, as I was younger. I used to be really, really skinny. Like, twig. Like I said, I was very, very athletic when I was a kid. But when I got to my teenage years, y'all, once puberty kicked in, the lady started to fill out over here. Body parts started bodying. She started looking at me and saying, oh, you spending way too much time at such and such house. If you coming back looking like them. Oh, you can't be going over such and such house because you be eating their food and you starting to gain weight. When I was a young teenager, that was when it was the beginning for me of being put on all these weird diets like cabbage soup diet or weekend come, and I not eating anything, and the family's eating pizza and chicken, and I'm in my room smelling it all. And these are things that at the time, you know, they thought was gonna help me, but let me just tell y'all, don't do your kids like that. Don't do your kids like that. My mom, she was just doing what she thought was best. But y'all, clearly, that's not how you handle a teenager. It's not. And so, for a long time, I have struggled with body image issues and what is a person supposed to look like, and height and weight. What is a person supposed to look like at a certain height and a certain weight? You know what I mean? Because of how I grew up in my life, and because of the things that I learned at very young, how I perceived the adults and the other people in my life, right? And so, once I arrived, right, at being a plus size person, I mentally went through a lot, right? Because I've been put on so many diets as a kid. You know, I just thought my mom wasn't gonna love me. I thought she was ashamed. I don't know if she was or she wasn't. Those were the thoughts I was going through my head. As I was getting this extra treatment I didn't ask for, definitely did not want. I was just trying to discover myself. You know, my mom, she wasn't the best cook, y'all. Our food was like nasty a lot. So my cousins, my aunts, my family, they all could cook. Now my mom, she grew up sickly, so they never thought it was important to teach her how to cook. So we suffered because of that. But now I have a good food to eat, tasty food to eat. But my mom was never heavyset. It was just a thought in her mind. That's what she saw herself as. But from, I don't want to say she was never heavyset. No, because like in the last 10 years, my mom got up to like 170. I said she was 5'2". So yes, from back then when she thought she was heavy to like 10 years ago when we got into this car accident, like we went through a lot. She had become widowed. She gained a lot of weight. She lost a lot of weight now, but that was her highest, like 170. And so now she does not call herself fat anymore because she knows what she can look like versus what she can be like. But back then when she was like 20-something, because that's what it was, y'all. My mom had me, I was just 22. I told you these happened between, I was 3 and 5 years old, so she was still in her 20s. So this is her thought process and her being a 20-something. But it shaped my thought process as a kid. So this is why I'm just telling you, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with what you're thinking and how you are transferring that to the younger people in your life. Because it's going to affect them. It's going to affect how they see themselves. It's going to affect their body image. It's going to affect how they see each other, how they see the world. And so, once again, this is why I pour into myself. I don't look for outside validation from other people. Because when you look for it and you don't get it, sometimes it can cause you to crash out. And this ain't about them. It's your journey. It's about you. You know what I mean? So you have to pour into yourself. You have to give yourself what you need. And be satisfied with what you've given yourself and know that it's enough. Okay? I know I've been walking. And I didn't intend to walk the whole time. But I'm going to tell y'all, my back feels so much better than it did when we first started. It did. So, we're going to do a little bit of exercise. So in 5 seconds, let's go ahead and start off with 15 pullbacks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pullbacks. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you got that core activated. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's go on to 10 squats after this. 12, 13, 14, 15. Just want to get in that little extra one. Let's squat it out, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 side checks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10 knee ups. 9, 10 knee ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep that core activated. 7, 8. High knees, y'all. 9, 10. One more. Let's walk. Let's walk our way to a cool down. Come on. Let's walk our way to a cool down. We're walking. Walking our way to cool down. You know it. Speed it up to cool it down. Yeah. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. You got the whole weekend ahead of you. I hope you make the most of it. I think I'll make the most of my weekend. I know a lot of you probably going to be out going shopping if you do the holiday thing. Because I think this is the holiday before the weekend. Not 100% sure, y'all. But I think so. I don't keep up with dates and stuff. I just know today's Friday. That's all I know. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's cool it down. Let's cool it down, family. Ooh, let's hold this. Breathe in through your nose. Out through your mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Whew. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you if you're still here, if you listen to the sound of my voice. You made it to the end of today's video. So I appreciate you for staying and walking with me and doing this for yourself. Because you are worth it. Today we got in 2,377 steps. That's 2,377 steps, 10 squats, and a little mini workout. So go ahead. I'm taking the 10K step challenge. It's Friday. Why not? So if you want to take it, type in challenge accepted down below. Have a great weekend. Go be amazing. Because remember, giving up on yourself is never an option. Never ever. I love y'all. See you next time.